things change only in turmoil. And the best thing I did was I did not look back.
How can one train to be successful?
When I picked someone, I picked him to be successful, not expecting him to fail. I want them to feel that you are here because I know you're going to make me win, so that they perform for me. Because cricket is a team sport, corporate business is a team sport, banking is a team sport. It's not just the CEO or the CFO makes the bank successful. It's those thousands and lakhs of people who work for you make it successful. Welcome to Bandhan Bank Connect Season 2, Off the Pitch. I am Saurav Ganguly, and together with a very dear friend and a special guest, we begin a new journey of conversations and reflection. Today, we are talking about something every leader eventually learns. There are days when things do not go your way, when results do not reflect the effort, and when there are more questions than faith. I have lived through those days, and I realized that staying calm is not always easy, but it is often what holds a team together. Cricket taught me that pressure is part of the game and part of life too. The real challenge is to stay steady so that the people who look to you for direction do not lose confidence. I am glad to have someone with me who has seen so many of those moments unfold from a different lens. He has watched matches from the commentary box, observed how the mood of a team can shift within minutes, and understand what quiet leadership looks like. Harsha is here with me, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
I'm very happy and I'm very amused to be here. I'll tell you the reason for both. I'm always happy. I love talking cricket with Saurav. But I'm amused because we've done this so many times before, and every time I'm on that side and you're on this side. But yes, I'm very, very happy because one of the happiest things in my life was that phase between sort of 2000 to 2005. India were doing very unusual things in a sense. And I remember particularly you got the captaincy in very turbulent times because there were all kinds of issues floating around Indian cricket. There was an absence of trust. I remember once getting an email saying, if Tendulkar is not clean, then what is the point in following cricket? And Tendulkar himself has now suddenly said, I don't want to be captain. Were you expecting to be a leader? And you're just thrown into this turmoil. So your first few days as captain, how did you take in everything that was happening?
Harsha, with all my experience over the years and your experience too, you will know that things change only in turmoil. When everything is right and everything is proper, calm, you don't see change. And as you rightly said, my captaincy happened in a turmoil. Sachin did not want to do it. Probably if Sachin wanted to do it, I probably would have never been captain of India because, things change in sport very quickly. I never thought I would lead India. And in 96, I made my debut. You were there as we were speaking. It was very different then. India was treated very differently then. And a lot has changed over the last. It's been almost 29 years. That's how time flies.
So there's this young man. I saw this young man walk out to bat even 5 years before that. Someone had told me, watch out for this young kid. He made 22 in that game in the Ranji Trophy final. But suddenly from there, you're vice captain. I guess when you're vice captain, you're always next in line to be captain. But what struck me as an observer from a distance was that the Indian public wanted trust back. They wanted to watch a game and they wanted to think, all my players are playing for me. Because eventually, you play for the supporters, you play for the fans. Of course, as players, you play to win. And that's true of corporate houses as well, because trust is such a big thing for a corporation, especially for a bank. So was that ever in your mind that, trust is gone? We need to get the trust back, and therefore I need to lead a certain way.
Especially with cricket in India, it is almost a religion. The money may have increased manifolds in the current generation, but even in my generation or even before, when the likes of Gavaskar, Kapil played, this game was much more than a game. So as you rightfully said, trust was very important. People filled up the stands. People loved their heroes. Different heroes at different generations. And when you have heroes, you want them to be absolutely right. And when I became captain in 2000, as you rightfully said, there's a lot of things going around. The best thing what happened to me was I was away in Lancashire for 6 months, and all of everything was going in India. I was away in Lancashire, Rahul was in Kent, Anil was in Leicestershire. All of us together were away for, I think it's 2000 summer. And I did not get to know half of what was going on. And in those days, media was not as quick like lightning as it is today. Some news would come that, things are happening, people are called, people are being interrogated, but it didn't bother me. I did not expect captaincy because Sachin was captain and Sachin was always very clean. So I did not expect it. I was happy playing as a vice captain. But when I first became captain, to get the trust back was important. And the best thing I did was I did not look back. I did not look back at what happened. I wanted to look ahead. And for me, the first and foremost criteria to win the trust back was to win. Have a team which wins. And we had a great bunch of players. I always said that, I'm absolutely fortunate to lead a Tendulkar or a Dravid or a Kumble or a Lakshman or a Sehwag. Dhoni came in later when I was established captain. So there were a bunch of unbelievable players. And what was more important, besides being good players, they were lovely human beings, with tremendous integrity. India came first and their talent. So it did make my job a lot easier. I didn't have to go searching for trust. I could see it. I could see it in among the players. I could see it in their eye. Not for once during my period as captain, I had to worry about this.
And that's something very interesting from a corporate point of view as well. Very often they say in times of turmoil, forget if you're a great chartered accountant, forget if you're a great brand manager. Just put the right human being in charge so that people can look up and have trust. And as you said, you were very lucky that there were people around you whose integrity was above board. But yet it was a time of low confidence too. And the person taking over as captain had quite a period of life himself. I mean, you came back in 96. Again in 97, you were in and out of the side. So when you get captaincy, you're not a Tendulkar yet. You're not a Dravid yet. You're a Ganguly who's about to become a Ganguly.
Yeah, but that was too long back. That was before 96. And the period from 96 to 2000 was a massive transformation. And probably Tendulkar was the only one above in terms of ability, in terms of experience, in terms of already being a successful player and a superstar in India. Me, Dravid, Lakshman had just come in. We're on the same pedestal at that time. So it was good that I became captain with all these players. And as you rightfully said, there is everything, but there is that human element in everything. In sport, in corporate, they say your biggest asset, your biggest investment is people. Amidst everything, the offices, the corporate houses, it's the people who make you successful. And my biggest aim during that period was to get the right kind of people. I had my own way of running things. I did not read a book. I didn't read The Art of Captaincy, that this is the right way to go, this is the wrong way to go. I just did what my heart said, what my gut felt was right for Indian cricket, what my eye saw and said that, this guy is a match winner and this guy is going to win cricket matches for me, and I picked them. I had only one thing in mind, that whoever I pick, I'm not scared of losing, but I want to win. I think that was very important in my journey.
Ian Chappell told me something very interesting about when he first became captain. He became captain in turmoil as well, because the existing captain that had gone to South Africa, come back in the middle of a series, the captain was sacked. He said, I started by making a list of things that I didn't like people doing to me when I was a player. And I said, I won't do that to others when I become captain. The reason I was bringing up the 92 to 96 phase was that was not a very happy phase, because you'd already been picked for India and then suddenly you're out for 4 or 5 years. Did you have that thought in your
100%, 100%. And I didn't want any young player to go through it, because it reduces your ability by 50%. And I always believe that when I picked someone, I picked him to be successful, not expecting him to fail. And I firmly believe in everything what I do, that you pick talent to make them successful. And during that period, even the tour of Australia, it was a 4-month tour. I hardly got to play anything, didn't get much opportunity, and then got dropped. Obviously, I was a young boy at 18 and didn't bother about it, because I went back and played Ranji Trophy. So when I became captain, and I never had a chat with Ian about it, when I became captain, that was the first thing I had in mind. I said, I'm going to make these young boys comfortable. Comfortable in the sense that I need performance, but performance you have to give me, and I'll give you the place and the opportunity to perform. So this was my criteria, and performance was what I demanded of you. I didn't want them to feel insecure. I didn't want them to feel that they're only here for a little bit and I'm looking at someone. I want them to feel that you are here because I know you're going to make me win. And it works like that. Confidence, putting confidence in your people is very, very important. And when I looked into their eye, a Sehwag or a Yuvraj, every time I said, you're the best I've got, so that they perform for me. Because cricket is a team sport. Corporate business is a team sport. Banking is a team sport. It's not just a CEO or the CFO makes the bank successful. It's those thousands and lakhs of people who work for you make it successful.
And that's where the leader becomes important, because even in a banking environment, there are people who are competing with each other. But eventually you're competing with each other to become better for the side. So at one level, you must compete with each other, but you cannot compete so hard that the team suffers as a result.
And for me, yes, as you touched it, competition is about getting better. There is no other competition. The competition is not about pulling someone down.
Were you ever afraid of making mistakes? Because leaders will make mistakes. Many years ago, Saurav and I have had so many conversations. He told me something that has stayed with me. He told me this in 2005. He said, good leaders get it right 7 times out of 10. You gave yourself 5, but I didn't agree with that. But were you afraid that if I make mistakes, I don't know how long I'm going to be captain? Because the other thing you had told me was, in India, we give people time to make mistakes. We don't give them time to learn from mistakes and become better leaders.
Yeah. India has also changed since then.
Enormously.
We are patient with our captains. As you said, some of them have lost their captain.
Oh, you had a role to play in that as well, because pre-99, captains were coming and going.
Yeah, and some people lost their captaincy on flights. When they were back home on the way on a plane from a series, and they land and they realize that they're not captains anymore.
So were you ever worried about going wrong?
Yeah, I was. I'm human, and I think everyone's human. Even the best wouldn't show it, but they know deep down that, I'm human and I can make mistakes. But I worked extra mile to make sure that the mistakes are as little as possible. It's a balance. It's like when you walk out to bat in a test match, you're nervous. The hardest thing is to bat at number 5, knowing the 3 and 4 are batting and you're in next. But when you walk in, when you take that mark, when that first ball zips past you, life is a lot easier. And you train yourself for that. In every aspect of life, whether it's corporate, whether it's cricket, whether it's films or whatever you do, you train yourself to be successful. You just don't land up in a ground, on a box, or in a corporate office.
How can one train to be successful?
The only way you become successful is by doing the same thing over and over again. There is no shortcut. So I firmly believe that anything you do, you don't come in as perfect, but you learn, you work, and become better. If you have the talent, you can do it. And when I became captain, it was about identifying the talent and giving them the opportunity to perform. I didn't pick a Sehwag, Yuvraj, Zaheer, Harbhajan, Anil, Dhoni to fail. And if they fail, I fail. So for me, the biggest challenge was, and for any corporate, is to, when you hire someone, give him that platform to succeed.
And it's so important for in a banking environment as well, because if you're a senior manager, there are people below you who might make mistakes. But I found in my life, whenever I was afraid of making a mistake, I made a mistake. And the day you tell yourself, it's okay, you have time to recover. Their second innings, it's time to recover. I found I was making fewer mistakes. And I hope that even in the corporate world, with constant reporting, every 3 months you're reporting results, I hope people have time to make mistakes and recover and become better leaders, which is what we talked about a little while ago. Can you give people time to become better leaders?
Absolutely, you have to. Nobody comes perfect. The other day, I was sitting at Eden Gardens and somebody came and told me, you think Shubman Gill should be captain of T20? I said he should be captain of everything because he's so good. And I asked him that 3 months ago, that fellow was in England and he looked like gold. Batting, captaincy, got a young team to fight. No Kohli, no Rohit Sharma. And in 3 months' time, you're asking questions. That's the mindset of people. And it happens from someone who make decisions all the time. So as I said, you have to be patient. And as you rightfully said, that you have to allow somebody to become better. It is not rocket science.
Yeah, there's so many similarities between leading a team in sport and leading a team in a corporation, because both happen in reality. But sometimes in books and movies, you always write the end first, and then all the facts are built around it. You don't fail in real time. And that is why what you say resonates so much with what can happen in a banking environment, because people succeed and fail in real time. There are no There are no trial balls. You don't say, "Acha, acha, okay, let's reshoot," like we can do now. We can reshoot. And that is why what you're saying is so important.
I said that to everyone, that when you nick Glenn McGrath outside the off stump and it goes to first slip, you cannot go and tell the umpire, I want to bat again. But that what makes a character. That what makes you stronger, that what makes you confident. And I keep telling people that this sport, other than whatever I've achieved, the runs, the numbers, the name, the fame, what has gave me is a very strong character. You put me in a difficult situation, the first thing which comes to my mind is I'll get out of it or I'll do it properly. It is never I won't be able to do it. I have my jitters. I'm sure everybody has their jitters. But at the end of the day, the strength of the character takes over the jitters. And I think that's what real-time life gives you, because there's no second option.
I'm not surprised you mentioned that strength of character. One of the things we look for from 90 meters, 100, 120 meters away, the first thing you know is the further you go from the square, the easier the game becomes. It's very easy from long on. It's easier from the commentary box. It's easiest when you're sitting at home, because we can recommend decisions that don't have to be taken. Whereas out there in the middle, you have to take those decisions and bear the brunt of them being wrong, sometimes being right as well. And one of the things you look for is, can you identify the captain on the field? Is the captain calm or is the captain losing it? It's not good to identify a captain because he's losing it. And one of the things we used to see, and there were periods through that 2000 to 2005 phase when things didn't always go in your favor. I remember there was a game in Adelaide at the end of the first day, it's 400 for 5. It's not easy being calm. And yet, if you are not calm, the team is looking at you. And if you start to get flustered, the team thinks, oh my God, even the captain has lost it.
You have to take decisions. That is important. Whether you're calm or whether you're into the opposition's face or whether you get angry on a cricket field, most importantly, you have to take decisions. And it has happened many a number of times. You speak about Adelaide, 400 on day 1 for Australia. And who won on day 5? India. So you have to back yourself. You have to take decisions under pressure. You should not look like helpless when things are not going your way, because in sport it will happen. And in that generation, there were some great teams. So the most important thing for a captain at any stage, the game should not get out of his hand. At times, oppositions will play well because they've also come to play the sport. But you have to have the ability to come back into the game. And for that, you needed a good team. I've always said, the biggest investment in the corporate world, in the sporting world, is the people who you work with and the people who you play with. They help you come back to the game. Imagine Rahul Dravid and VVS Lakshman in Adelaide. We were 100 for 4 and then went on to get 500 on that wicket. And there were many instances. Calcutta, Eden Gardens, Brisbane, when I walked in at 60 for 4.
It's funny that you have this picture of calm, and the picture that's remembered about you, luckily you were off the field, is when you were taking off your shirt, but that's an iconic picture. Isn't it true that when you're calm, your mind thinks better? When you're angry, your mind doesn't think.
Yeah, because it thinks the wrong things when you're angry. And when you're calm, you're looking at things at a different perspective. And I'm a very calm person. Whatever you saw on the field, with the shirt, with the altercations, with me shouting at oppositions, with me fighting with people, but deep inside, I'm a different person. Pretty laid back, pretty quiet. You won't find me in a room if I'm there, walking around, sitting in a corner, doing my own things. No noise, no problem, nothing. And that's what my nature is. But as I said, the most important thing as a captain, that you should not be scared to take decisions. And for me, it should always be progressive. It should always be of support. There are times when you have to drop a harsha. So you go up to him, and it happened to me with Sehwag in 2000 in Mohali. I went and told him, I said, you're not ready to play fast bowling yet. You're looking slow. You're not ready at international cricket. Go back and play and come back. And he came back as a different player. That honesty is important. It is not, as I said, it's not always about letting people go. It's about making people. I think that's the biggest role a leader has to do in any aspect of life. It's about creation for the group. To share how calm and compassionate leadership shaped Bandhan Bank's journey to become a trusted national institution, we are joined by Mr. Partho Pratim Sengupta, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Bandhan Bank.
Thank you, Saurav. When we look at the journey of Bandhan Bank, we also see phases where results did not come immediately. Banking, much like cricket and other sports, teaches you patience and how to handle challenges along the way. You see, on the field, results show up instantly. But in banking, progress comes from the relationships and trust you build over the time. For the bank, there were moments when the external environment was tough and uncertain. And in those times, calm leadership becomes important. It helps us listen better, understand what our customers need, and respond with clarity. Just as a captain stands by the team, I believe a bank has to support its customers and its people, especially when things are difficult. Trust here plays an important role because it assures people that the bank will stay steady even when the environment is challenging. It is this trust that strengthens relationships and gives customers the confidence to move forward with us. Teamwork, belief, and discipline kept us moving forward. We stayed focused on long term goals rather than short term ups and downs. That is how trust grew, and that trust helped us become a national institution people rely on. I believe that in both cricket and banking, the temperament of leadership can guide the direction of the entire journey.
Thank you, Parthobabu, for your insights. Whether in cricket or in banking, leadership through adversity requires clarity, patience, and trust. This was episode number 1, The Captain's Calm. In the next episode, we speak more on leadership and values. Until then, stay focused and remember that a calm mind often sees opportunities that others miss.